Welcome back to the Smite Pro League, powered by Cursed Voice. Gandhi joined by F. We just watched Ymir win a perfect game in game number 1 here. 21 minutes on the clock, clean ending from them. They were able to really stop the early invade from Denial, and from there it was just woo.
One of the few times that Mace of the Face's Isis has actually lost.
That's a good point.
Yeah, going back to the spring split, he played Isis about 8 times, won 7 if I'm not mistaken. So this is about the second, or I'm going to say second or third, just to be safe, second or third time that he's actually lost with this god. So I don't think that's going to really shake him too much. I think we'll still be afraid of the Mace of the Face Isis.
As we should.
Hey, folks, it's not infallible, and that's definitely something big that teams have to realize.
Well, it is time for picks and bans here, guys. We will see what comes out of this one. Team Eager will be wearing blue, Denial in red, and the picks and bans should be a little bit different here, as they will just get rid of Cirquette. And the reason why I think they're getting rid of Cirquette is just because Derek doesn't play her, right?
Right.
So they're like, well, do we want to waste a ban on this? Yes, because it's Cirquette, but also we don't want it because Derek doesn't play it.
It also fits Shing's I mean, I spent that whole time talking about how cheeky Loki is, right? Where am I? Blah, blah, blah. That's Shing's playstyle. That's why Shing used to be known for the Cirquette. That's why Shing does well with the Bastet. He's just always where he doesn't want to be.
Here it is. First pick Neith. Telling Denial, all right, well, where's she going to go? And now craft your team around that one.
Yep.
So they're going to grab the next best possible support in Geb.
I like it.
They will have the Stone Shield, and then they will also have the Isis, which fits Denial playstyle perfectly, which is strong early.
And see, this is the Geb pick. Shadow Q is comfortable with all of the supports. He's one of the long time supports. Actually, fun fact, Shadow Q used to be the long time support for this Eager team. Him and Zapman lane together for years, literally. But that Geb, Shadow Q is more of the defensive, I'll save you, buddy, and that's what the Geb is going to do. So very, very good, fitting pick for Denial in the support role.
So, now, Denial, they have their options here. As who they want to pick up. They can probably grab a Hunter if they want, which it will be Rama. And now I'm expecting Eager, if they're looking for a bruiser-based comp, which it's kind of looking that way, like they probably wanted someone more tanky, they might ban out Ao Guang, who just kind of shreds through them, but I'm not sure. It's such a traditional team comp coming out of Eager that I have no idea.
The Odin ban coming out from Denial. No. We are the early game team. Don't stop us. That's not right. We'll ban out Odin. Because as I said, Dare to Care really likes Odin. Aurora apparently really likes Odin. It just fits so well that, you know what? No, you're not allowed.
So who will help the early game here? Denial's looking for a jungler. The first person I'm looking at was going to be Thanatos, but that is a Cabrakan. This could be a solo Cabrakan going to Baskin. This could be a jungle Cabrakan going to Shing. If it's a jungle Cabrakan, Bart will freak out because he loves it.
I love jungle Cabrakan. I think it's one of the cooler. I think it's very along the lines of jungle Hercules, sort of. Not the same thing, but a similar mentality. That said, I do sort of expect it in the solo lane.
Oh, and that's Hercules. Okay, so another pretty tanky team comp here. Ao Guang wouldn't be a bad pick to throw into the solo lane here. It is going to be tough, but I mean, with that execute threshold would be really, really good to have going up against this squad. But the final pick coming out of Denial here, as soon as I see the Cabrakan, I'm just thinking like this team must play Legion all the time.
I want a Thanatos.
You're not getting that Thanatos.
I think the Thanatos, the Loki pick is actually the opposite of what we were thinking about.
Right?
Ymir, Bacchus, Hercules.
Well, he didn't play bad.
Difficult to kill.
He didn't play bad with the Loki in the last game.
No, he played well. I'm just talking about this comp.
Oh, yeah.
Ymir, Bacchus, and Hercules are all difficult to kill. I wanted the Thanatos.
No. It wasn't Hercules. Nemesis. There was a error on our side. So the Nemesis getting picked up here.
All of a sudden, the Loki makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. I mean, so
Neith, Poseidon, and Nemesis are all just waiting to be eaten by Loki.
Yeah, so this is a Ymir solo lane going to Anatoly. This is a jungle Nemesis.
Oh, are we doing this one?
Yeah, I think that's what it's happening.
I think it's jungle Poseidon, mid Nemesis. We're going to see a Hunter Ymir.
Yeah, okay. Anatoly going to be rocking the Mr.
Jungle Bracken.
Jungle Bracken.
Jungle Bracken, that's my guy right there. As I said, Shing primarily known for slippery assassins, or I'm going to take that back. Shing used to be known for slippery assassins. These days in Season 2, the spring and the summer split, we're seeing a little bit more of this Chunky Brewster type deal where like, hey man, I'm a little bit more difficult to kill and I will impact your fight. I like it.
Now we'll see. Eager, the 5-man grouping comes. Denial Esports actually, shockingly enough, not going for this.
They learned their
kind
lesson.
Of early invade, and they've built their team comp a little bit differently, minus the fact that they do have the Mace to the face, who, well, he's very strong early on. At the beginning of the lane, he will have a little bit better clear than Lassus on the Poseidon, but once like level 4 hits, they're damn near in parity.
It was very interesting. We were talking about how similar the characters are. How similar the playstyle is, I guess, of the Cabrakan and the Hercules for just thick bruisers in the jungle. Quite the opposite for Lassus. Last time he played a sort of a utility-based Neith, a very low-scaling character, so you don't have to build a lot of power. Where on this time he's playing Poseidon, all you want is that power for that Kraken. So it's very different. On the Neith, he said, hey, I'm going to buy the Divine Ruin, I'll buy CDR boots and ult all the time. On Poseidon, I would be very surprised if he didn't go straight damage.
Oh, it's full damage. I've seen too many Lassus streams to know exactly how he plays it. This is a Shoes of the Magi getting ready to come up. Aurora in the thick of it here. As that man, he's hitting all of the autos here, just poking down Bronx Bomber, as ShadowQ will be there to kind of help him out a smidge. But, I mean, this lane is exactly how you would expect it to go. You're going to see the belly flop coming out of the Bacchus because that's his form of wave clear as well as controlling the lane. But the problem is that's also his form of engagement. So sometimes you'll see him kind of just jump in and do everything, but I mean, it's really going to be dictated by the Zapman. Double freeze coming out as the Frost Carpet as well. Anatoly just naturally being a beefcake over there.
Both back Harpies are going to be taken early by Lassus and Nemesis. This will help the level 5 at the mid Harpies. That said, level 5 for Nemesis probably, or level 5 probably not the most devastating ability for mid Harpy control, but that Kraken
helps.
That said, the Kraken is going to be very, very, very big.
It helps. It helps a lot. The Nemesis throwing down Divine Judgment will shred through the protections, giving Poseidon an easy chance to just kind of blow him up with a Kraken, which is great. Yeah. Far right lane here will just be Anatoly. He's just chilling in the cut. I mean, chilling. Yeah, he's chilling. Just relaxing. Was that
intentional?
Oh yeah,
chilling. Yeah, it's cold.
I get it. Yeah. That was mildly intentional.
So we've got the mid lane coming on, the 2v2 situation. Mace in the face going to be able to use that Wing Gust. Again, he's playing the Isis.
Gold Cabrakan looks so stupid.
Gold Cabrakan, uh-oh.
Yeah. Wait, what is that?
That's a fine.
Yeah. What is he doing there, Shingy?
That's a fine, folks. But so it's actually very interesting. Eager, going back to their Team Dignitas days, has been very... They do this a lot, and by this I mean they're not banning the Isis. Whether it's gods that are just powerful in the meta, where it used to be Zeus, they have not to ban.
Tomfoolery, baby! Big Kraken, big damage, big tidal wave. That's a kill. First blood. Shing now still swinging. Lassus will have the body blocks as well. And that was exactly what Eager wanted. Now, 10 seconds until mid-Harpies.
Now that's chilling in the cut. They actually just stood there waiting for
that was more like setting up the trap house, right? Yep. That was like a scene from The Wire. Eager Lassus will be able to take out the right Harpies with Dare to Care. Right side will be going to them. Shing has not rotated over to the left side. And now Zapman, well, this is what Neith does. Shove the wave, rotate. Shove, wave, rotate. Ultimate across the map, yeah, no problem. Left side. This is going to be a little bit later, and they have this timer. So when this next set comes up at 6 minutes, Denial's probably going to preemptively kind of set up there at like 6:15, thinking it's going to be around that time. And Eager can actually get the better hand on this.
Yeah, they'll be aware of that. Bronx Bomber's getting bounced up. Zapman needs to follow up. Does he have the ultimate? Take a look, and he does. It's up to the support.
It's going to get body blocked.
He's got to watch out for that body block, so he's not going to go for it.
This just shows how good of a player Zapman is and how experienced he is in the duo lane, because so many people would be like, oh yeah, I'm going to throw in my Neith ult, but he realizes, oh wait, I'm playing in the Pro League here, and that's going to get body blocked by ShadowQ.
Yeah. We're actually going to see the long lane back completely. It's only 4 minutes in, so they're really not going to pay for that. Zapman backed as well, so that is the perfect time that you want to head back to base for the long lane. Not really going to miss too much of anything. The wave might be frozen just a little bit, but nothing really to write home about. And again, Nemesis hanging out here in the mid lane. That ultimate going to go so well with the Kraken. Is it there? The Cabrakan is, and he's going to get hit. A couple more basics from Dare to Care, but he's stunned out by the Spirit Ball. Makes the face on the aggressive, clearing the wave as well, but not able to nail the hit onto Dare to Care.
They're perfectly fine living to see another day there. I mean, that was 3 people thrown down. Yeah, sure, they burned the Kraken, but that's nothing. Purple buff ended up getting taken away there. Zapman could be in a little bit of a pickle there. He's going to stun out Bronx Bomber. He's going to get stunned himself, though. Spirit Ball was on point, and he will be able to survive that one. As Poseidon now, is Lysis going to rotate here? No, he's gonna get his red buff.
Yeah. Base of the face hits all of those Spirit Balls.
Yeah.
Like, all
Some say he is the spirit of the ball.
He definitely has the ball spirit in his face, or in his favor. So definitely a good look. Anatoly getting blue buff right here, no problem. So right now, pretty much teams are waiting for those 6-minute mid camps. It's just in betweens. The Kraken is down or will be down for a little bit longer. Teams are just sort of waiting. There really is there's nothing to fight over it.
Nope. And full-blown Heartseeker rush here coming out of Loki. Across the way. Anatoly, actually, instead of going for any kind of... Well, that's actually really surprising. Instead of trying to go for any kind of defensive build, wow, Zapman, you're aggressive, buddy. Slowing him down here. And now, look at this. Will he win this battle? Oh, the jukes! He was so close. Very few hunters will use their form of escape as an initiate.
Zap.
But when you're feeling the rhythm, man, one of the biggest parts about professional gaming and just gaming in general is just having confidence. You have to know that you're better than the other person, and that's exactly what that is.
Yeah, we talked a lot about that aura of just being better than the other person. We attributed a lot to Omega this time around, but Zapman was one of the first players that, oh no, I'm laning against that man. Bronx is doing a very, very good job. He's actually maintaining an experience lead. Before that back might have changed now, but he actually was maintaining an experience lead against Zapman. So Zap using his aggression right there to sort of even out the experience, forcing his enemy back. Again, that Spirit Ball's going to hit. And now he's in trouble.
Yep, Kraken should be able to finish this one off. Dare to Care cleans that one up. And now they're just going to let ShadowQ wobble out of this one. Left side Harpies going the way of Eager. Right side already did as well. I told you they would be lingering around it. And when you have the timers of the mid Harpies, you have the humongous advantage. Gold Fury still up. No team has yet to start this one off. But Eager 2-0. It's 7 minutes into this one. Taking a look at the charts. Well, you're going to see that it's just a lead for Eager. But Magic Cudgel... Heavy Hammer? Is that going to be a Frostbound Hammer coming out of the Nemesis?
Most likely. Actually, it's very interesting. Nemesis is one of Dare to Care's favorite gods. He has a lot of fun playing him, plays a lot of him, and normally Nemesis is used as a counter pick to a very particularly tanky lineup. Not necessarily the case. Exactly. Not necessarily the case in this game, but Dare to Care plays it at such high level that you can do it against a team that isn't even there. He's going to go ahead and pick up a utility item like the Frostbound Hammer. And actually, if you go to Eager's website, he actually wrote a guide on how to play Nemesis. So
what
a lot of hours in the gym for this Nemesis.
What a play coming out of Anatoly right there. Using the sound to just figure out where the Loki was, throwing out the Frost Breath, figured he would go directly to the tower since he wasn't going to ult, and then he stuns him out, forces him to go back. He's got teleport there. And here comes a roar. There it is. Big boom. Kraken hits after the Divine Judgment. Ching, your predictions do nothing here when they get stripped away from you. Zapman in the one-on-one. He doesn't back down. The roll hits. The cripple's there. Zapman trying to throw on the jukes. He's got a new pair of Nikes, but Bronx Bomber steals him away from him.
Incredible. 11 out of 12 basics just landed from Bronx Bombers. Now he's in a little bit of trouble. Gem Shield is down, so is Cataclysm. The roll is good, so all of the defensive maneuvers are gone. Is it enough? And it was. Denial gets out of that issue, no problem.
That is some sheer skill coming out of Bronx Bomber. 11 out of 12, bro.
I mean, we saw it happen we've been watching this happen. He's, I'm not going to say he's ascending to greatness, but he's definitely coming into himself as an SPL player, moving away from, hey, I am newer to the scene, but I'm not the newest anymore.
Yep.
Look at Baskin Robin. He's the rookie. He's starting to make a name for himself as a regular SPL player.
It's also extremely impressive because he went Dev Gloves and Neith at a basic level, just one ability. Like, he's going to destroy the Rama. Like, he just hits so much harder, and to see him kind of come out on top is just very impressive. Shing's going to get walled off here. Anatoly, he might pay with his life. Yeah, no, he's dead.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful decoy placement. It locked the Anatoly in. He couldn't move, and then just to add insult to injury, Shing throws down the ground pound that is the tremors. That Ymir was going nowhere.
Well, Eager actually ends up losing two there. Initiation coming out of Aurora. They're going to have the stun here. If they take out Shadow Q, this means one thing. Gold Fury. Zapman's got to hit the auto. There it is. That's done. Gold Fury could be started up here if they so please. Hand of the Gods 3 will be down on the side of Denial. Denial's just going to push up the waves, and they're actually not going to take this advantage at all. They will see a Shing. Shing not stunned out, though. He's got a peel for Dare to Care, who's still there using the Nemesis skin, as now Zapman running away very fast.
Got to build up those Heartseeker stacks. And Rom versus Neith, yeah, you mentioned it before. The abilities from Neith are going to be big, but boxing, Rom wins that every single time. Even a well-placed Unravel, which will lower the attack speed from won't be enough.
That's big. Nemesis showing off the season ticket skills here. Wow. Down you go. Dare to Care, you do something right, and that's, well, I guess play a lot of games with the season ticket banner on. Gold Fury has been started up. Will Circle of Protection go down as well? That's going to help secure it. Lassus rotating around. He's got the Kraken. Eyes on him. Aurora's going to be here. Denial is able to take it. Tremors will finish it off. Will Lassus try to aggress? And he's going to give it up and wait to have a better setup there. At this point, he's got Bancroft's done. He's got Shoes of the Magi. He's 2-0-3. Lassus, if when coupled right with the Nemesis, he's going to be able to blow up anyone. The knock-up comes. Shing comes in. Beads forced out, as well as the Kraken. Tidal Surge as well. Lassus is going to be okay. Anatoly might be a different story, though, as he will get silenced out, and now he will rotate back to his lane, which his tower is about half health.
That Gold Fury was absolutely textbook. Baskin Robbins dies on the right-hand side. And you know what he says? He says communication while dead is very important. He says, hey, look, there are multiple people here. So I didn't just die to my lane mate. I died to 3 people, right? Yep. I died to the support, the jungle, and the solo. So immediately, Denial heads to the left-hand side. They throw everything down. Circle of Protection is one of the better abilities in the game to take that early Gold Fury. They go ahead and nail it. Aurora just a little bit too early. The Gold Fury goes the way of Denial because of good communication.
Bronx Bomber really just establishing dominance in this lane as Zapman's going to try to poke him out, but I mean, these Dev Gloves, he still hasn't even got him fully stacked, and now we're going to see Anatoly. Well, there's no wards there. He's not able to see it, and down he goes. I mean,
he does get the kill first.
Anatoly has 1 ward, and it's by the blue buff.
So it's very good for Anatoly that he does get 1 kill before he goes down. Worth noting, there was a ward there, but Shing, intelligently enough, drops the sentry and counters it. We see a lot of this at the high-end gameplay. We'll see counter wards come out a lot in the solo lane, and by this little entrance to the jungle for the mid.
Aurora stunned out there. He's going to get bullied out of this one here. And Denial, who's known for having an early game here, they're actually able to transition into the mid game pretty decently as they're chipping away at the heels of Eager. And just like that, it's actually a lead getting just cut. Look at that drop right there from those graphs. Eager, well, not the best luck so far. They will be able to probably secure these left side Harpies. Right side, not up just yet.
Denial is keeping Zapman down. Zapman has 2 deaths, which doesn't seem like a lot, but he's building Heartseeker. And with those 2 deaths, 25. He has got 25 stacks. It's been cut in half. The Heartseeker just at about half potency. It is relatively simple to stack that back up, so it's not the end of the world, but as long as they keep bringing it down to 25, that should be consistent enough to keep the Neith on her heels.
Baskin still just being able to stay alive here and just annoy Anatoly.
The Bee Gees.
Yep. He's got Breastplate of Valor. Next will be the Wingblade. At this point, Anatoly, he doesn't have to worry about dying individually to the Loki. And Xing, who loves camping solo lane, now has found himself rotating more around the map, and he's been very active in the mid lane as well. This is kind of like the DJ Pernicus play that we saw out of the Cabrakan, where it's, all right, everybody, let's protect, and that's Frost Breath down again for Anatoly, just a little bit off the mark. Xing comes in, this forces out fire or shards here, and now the Tremors will be there. Anatoly is in a big pickle there, gets some help from the Zapman, and in comes Lassus. Will he be able to get it off? No, wasn't able to hit the Whirlpool. If he would have caught him there. And Lassus has been the one who's been like forced to kind of rotate over to these fights where Derrick is just, not there.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see how Anatoly keeps responding to the Cabrakan gank. Every single time Cabrakan shows up,
Ice Shards.
Anatoly goes into Ice Shards, the ultimate, in order to prevent the stun that's going to come out from the Cabrakan, because he becomes CC immune. As soon as Xing sees that, he drops the ultimate in the Tremors. So Ymir, who's infamous for having low mobility, is just stuck. That one should have gone the way of denial, in my personal opinion, and Anatoly somehow gets out.
45 seconds until this next Gold Fury comes up. You would be a fool to say that Ymir is not desperately wanting to get this. Frost Breath off the mark again from Anatoly, but Baskin, he gets that increased movement speed when he goes stealth. So it's very, very hard to predict. So the fact that Anatoly can even hit those at all is freaking impressive.
Yeah, Loki it's all about the mind games and what you can do while invisible, but Anatoly has not been landing a lot of these stuns, unfortunately. Dare to care here, boxing Xing just a little bit, but both of them realize they're not going to do anything to each other.
Mid Harpies on the right side are getting ready to come up. Denial, they do not have the timer on the right side. They do have the timer on the left side. Keep in mind, it is dynamic, not static. So 3 minutes from the time you pick it up. As Dare to Care now will be able to hold this wave here with Lassus. They're just going to shred through this one, get the clear, and right side come up. And will they just leave that to Anatoly? No, Dare to Care will rotate for it as Lassus will be tasked with holding down on the left side. If they want to fight, they can.
There's that proxy farming you were talking about earlier, Scott. There it is, right clean in there. You're going to see Loki go behind the tower and clear the wave even earlier. So there's just no minions for what seems like forever.
Yep. Aurora now forced to hit the drink. He's taking to the presence of the booze in his glass there, as now Zapman will be there as well. 4 people from Eager cleared up. Shadowcube blinks in. They could dump it all into a roar, and now here comes the counter engagement. Belly flop in. Intoxicate hits as well. The Whirlpool will be there. Lassus gets one. Mace to the face, though, doing an amazing job on the backside. There's going to be one for Bronx Bomber. Now the Kraken hits. Xing in a lot of trouble here as he's finally able to get out. Anatoly, Ice Shards are there. They can't find Baskin, though, and now Aurora gets to engage again. Are you kidding? Now there comes the Frost Breath. He's able to hit it. There's the double kill. This will be the Gold Fury, and that is an amazing job coming out of Eager.
So a lot of times we sit here and say free Gold Fury, right? It might be free now, but they paid for it in spades. They paid so much before. They went ahead and they got a great initiation onto Denial, and Team Eager, because of how well they fight, get the Gold Fury for free. So a lot of stuff went into getting it, and then they just clean the slate. A lot of that fight had to do with Zapman rotating early. Zapman was there at that fight before Bronx Bombers was, because he showed up for those mid camps. He says, "Hey, I'm down a little bit. Bronx Bombers has been beating me here and there. He's 4-1-0. I'm 1-3. Let me get some extra experience from these mids. Oh, geez, there's a team fight. I'm already here."
Yep. Baskin now, he was able to get the tier 1 though, helping out his team just a bit, which at this point in the game, just getting a tier 1 will give you that little bit of extra money to where you can grab like a sentry ward or do something to really help out your team. And Xing is really going to try to counter initiate this. The Tremors will slow up Anatoly, but Ymir,
he's so tanky right now, and
he naturally is tanky, right? Every single level he gains 104 health. There's no item that even does that. Like, it's nuts.
And he's actually going to be building into a Void Stone, it looks like, which is very interesting. What Void Stone is, we don't see it a lot right now. It's a Ward Stone at level 2. It is an aura item. going to provide some magical power and some magical protection, but it will reduce the enemy's magical protections in an aura. So
it's to help out Lassus even more.
It's all about the Lassus.
He's 4-0-5. He's got the Spear of the Magus as well. Divine Judgment mixed with the Void Stone means last man, well, he's going to be able to do whatever he wants. Zatman charging it up. He was looking for one. It's just a taunt, though. And now we will see if they will continue to push down here.
Yeah, this Kraken Divine Judgment, this Lassus has just made Daenerys Trap Queen, and every single time somebody walks into the wrong spot, they have all of their protection stripped, and then they get hit by the Kraken. It is one of the this is how you play Nemesis when it's not as a counter pick. You team it up with a huge burst, and you shred all of the protections.
Yep. Make no mistake, Bronx Bomber has showed up to play. In comes the Cataclysm as well. Lassus forced out the beads. They're going to try to turn this one again. Kraken hits as well. It's all on Shadowq, though. They dumped so much into him. The Tremors comes down. Shing is in a perfect position. He's waiting on the team. The rollout will pin Lassus up against the wall. Do they have the follow-up? Intoxicates down, though. Baskin gets one. Shing gets another. Mace to the face lives. And Baskin gets a double kill now. The members of Eager have to retreat. They don't know there's more coming from the backside. Bronx Bomber pops his steroid as well. Followed up with the Spirit Ball. Denial turns everything around. It's tied at 10.
Denial's going to go right to the Fire Giant. No, they're a little too low and don't have the damage. They're going to go ahead and back. And, you know, it's times like these where I feel like maybe they're listening to the broadcast, because we just talked about how important, how imperative this combination of Divine Judgment and Kraken is. Right? As soon as they see the Divine Judgment come out, they engage and make sure the Kraken can't follow, because that's how Eager's been winning. They target one person, they delete them, and then they have the numbers advantage. This time around, they saw the Divine Judgment go out, and they separated. They took Lassus by himself, and because they didn't allow that initial burst to come out, 4 members of Eager died.
Dude, that Fire Giant's shredded. Aurora's going to look for this. He's hit the chug. And they turn around. They see it. This might be a steal. Aurora's in. Will they be able to do it? Denial's able to take the Fire Giant here at 21 minutes. They take out Aurora as well. The tides have shifted. Denial, who have been notorious for only excelling in their early game, have been able to transition into the mid game here. And now Eager has to just sit back and watch as 3 minutes and 40 seconds, they really can't fight. They have no Aurora. They have the Fire Giant on the side of Denial. I can't believe Denial was able to turn this around the way they have.
Denial's going to go ahead and back, which will shave a lot of the seconds off of Aurora's death timer right here. If there's ever a time you actually want to fight a Fire Giant, this is it. The game is just barely untied. Denial is leading by a couple of 100 gold, which doesn't mean anything. 451. This gold is tied for all intents and purposes. So with this Fire Giant, yes, Denial is clearly in the lead or has the upper hand in the engagements, but it's not completely infallible. When you're going up against a team that has 5 or a 7,000 gold advantage in addition to their Fire Giant, you run away and you wait for it to go down. With this is a Fire Giant you can defend against. You find a tower, you find a Phoenix, and you fight 6-on-5 with the help of that structure.
4 members of Denial all together. Baskin choosing to stay on the right side, gonna split push it out. Anatoli's gonna stop it as well. And now Eager's going to go ahead and push down the mid lane here. I guess they're going to try to come up with the gold. They must be close with items, and just like that, you're going to see the back come out of Eager, and now they basically just gave up a Phoenix here. Shadowq is going to be up. You're going to see Bronx Bomber. I mean, he's going to make quick work of this. Spirit Ball is going to be on the money here. Engage comes out. They're on Shing, and he took nothing from that Kraken. He is so tanky. Divine Judgment's going to be down on Bronx Bomber of all people. And Lassus, they're going to keep pushing forward. Shadowq is going to hit the Cataclysm. They're still going. Anatoly, you got to hit a freeze here, man. There's going to be one. Zatman gets that. In comes Aurora with an amazing belly flop as well. Mace to the face. Throws down the circle of protection. They had the Fire Giant, but this fight has just gotten so far out of hand. And Aurora's just waiting on the belly flop. Meanwhile, you see the Loki. He's on the right side of your screen. He's still just chipping away at the base. Shing is going to fall as well. And somehow a team with Fire Giant who was able to come back now finds themselves only, to be down 1 kill and down 2 players. And now they lose the Gold Fury as well.
But they get the 2 Phoenixes, which is going to be huge. And, you know, after thinking about it, I do like the Eager play. It did not work to their advantage. But how many times, Scott, have we seen teams their lane gets sieged, right? And you don't fight under the tower, so what do? They just sort of They dance, right? They dance behind the tower. They said, look, they've got to take 2 towers before they get to our Phoenix. We're going to, instead of sitting there and dancing and pressing WASD a lot, we're actually just going to take the tower and then back. It's inevitable that they're going to get our tier 1 and tier 2. We'll get their tier 1 and we'll back in time to defend the Phoenix. They were 2.5 seconds late.
Yep.
But that was, that is what they were thinking. At least that's what I'm going to venture to guess what they were thinking. And I like that. Do something instead of do nothing. Unfortunately, just a little bit too late. And Loki, doing exactly what he's supposed to do, picks up the Phoenix. So Ymir, after all that, loses 2 Phoenixes. They're still in the game.
Here's one thing that's a little bit crazy is that when you're going up against a Loki, especially one who finds a couple kills, but even so, as the game goes on, it's really hard. So when you are a squishy like Satman, when you're playing like a Neith, you actually have to build into an Aegis so you don't get one-shotted, and because of that, he doesn't have Sprint 3. So these boxing matches between Bronx Bomber and him should go into the favor of Bronx Bomber every single time. Divine Judgment hits, followed up by the Frost Breath. Here comes, well, that's just the Whirlpool Circle. Protection will be there. Shadow Q still managing to stay alive. Tremors will hit. A Roar, well, curtains, buddy. See you on the sidelines as now Denial will continue to push forward. It's a tier 1 tower, though. Eager really trying to save it here. And Lasses will continue to retreat. He's got the Kraken on deck. And now Dare to carry in a lot of trouble. Kraken's going to stop him up. He's able to take out a bunch. There's a double kill for Anatoly. The Aegis was beautiful. And somehow Eager was able to come out on top.
That was a great defensive maneuver. Laz is understanding that he wants to go ahead and use that Aegis.
Dude, this guy's insane, bro. What a goddamn Kraken. That is nuts.
Saved the Kraken. So, great stuff. So, Denial did a very good job of, again, they notice as soon as the Divine Judgment come out, make the separation. Don't allow Team Eager to capitalize off of the Nemesis ult. Punish them for using it. So they get it, they separate the team, and they siege. But rather than being quick on the trigger, Lazarus realizes, all right, look, I'm not going to, if I use the Kraken, I'm going to get somebody with the outside ring. Yep. I'm going to wait until they siege us because they're obviously going to go for our second tier 2 tower. I'm going to hit them with the Kraken, go ahead.
If they lose the minions...
No winions.
Yeah.
No winions.
That'd be so heartbreaking after that.
Team Eager technically in the lead right now when it comes to gold, but obviously not with map positioning.
Not at all. Right Phoenix getting ready to respawn for the members of Eager, and now they're still looking to fight. Shadow Q is forced out to Cataclysm here. Eager's Titan's still under attack. I mean, it's 37% and dropping. Lassus isn't going to be there. It's 38%, 26. The Winions are going to be there. Aurora forced to do it, 20%. I mean, the members of Denial can walk up and just hit it a couple times, and they'll be able to win it out. This is going to be Denial. There's no way Denial does not win this game. As great as Eager's defended it, it's at 16%. They can dump everything into it. Zatman's got to be very careful here. He's able to hit the stun out. Anatoly might get caught. This is trouble.
Denial sees that they are very, very strong on that gas pedal. It's pedal to the metal right now for the red team. Denial barking down the right-hand side of
Anatoly went back in.
Anatoly goes in and he dies for it. Zatman does pick that basket to the face. Again, the Kraken on point. Laz is doing the job.
No way. Are they going to be able to do this? There it is. Zatman, he's the only one who can hold, and he has no health. Far left Zatman. Phoenix is getting ready to come up. Zatman, oh no. He wasn't able to protect it. He will be able to kill these minions, though, which will help him out a bit. But, I mean, look at this Titan, dude. Shadow Q comes in. They're going to try to dump everything into it. Zatman trying to hold it as best he can. Will he be able to do so there? He's able to get one. Zatman's able to take out both. And they're able to hold here. That's a deicide. Holy hell.
Because Zatman, you are our only hope.
7, 4, and 9. He has no crit yet. After this engagement, he's gonna have the crit. Dare to Care able to save this as well. Denial Esports, their Titans under attack. It's at 70%. These minions have done more damage than actual players have on these Titans, and they're this low. Whew. This one is a nail biter, to say the very least. 28 minutes, 15 seconds on the clock. We've seen 22 kills out of Eager, 16 out of Denial. Denial has been in the driver's seat for the majority of it, but the hold from Eager has been second to none.
And the story has been all about Lazes with the incredible Krakens. They might not always wind up on him for the kill. As you see, he's got 11 assists, but the Krakens come out, they bring everybody's health down, they get the knock-up and the stun, and they allow everyone on Team Eager to go ahead and clean up.
This has been Denial's game. Fire Giant started up. Anatoly, this could be a throw. He's going to try to go in on this one and just kind of slow it up a bit. Oh my God! No! Look! It's the tomfoolery. They're going to go for this, and Derek is going to call it back. What's the comms here? They saw that they backed. They saw that they backed from the Fire Giant.
They got there and they realized they didn't have the Giannis this game.
Well, Laz is in a pickle here. Shing's going to be here as well. They dump everything into him. There's going to be the crack, and down goes one. Zapman is unstoppable. Still swinging away. Intoxicate comes down. Denial, keep in mind, has the Fire Giant. They're going to have the rejuvenation, but Anatoly has to get back to his base. They might lose to just these Winions alone. Anatoly has to get here. Finally, he's able to clean it up. He has to ult because he doesn't have the Demahes. It is at 13%. Right Phoenix still not up. Eager able to hold 29 minutes and 40 seconds. This has been a roller coaster of a game from both of these teams.
Yeah, as Phoenix has fallen for a second time now, unfortunately, during that last engagement. So that's just going to extend the oh no factor of the Winions. It's going to extend the oh no factor of the blink in from Denial. It's just going to extend a lot of oh no's. And for Team Eager right here, they just have to sort of protect their base, which is the core of Smite. It's a very Maddenism phrase, if you will, but they have to prioritize killing these minions and pushing up these waves to almost everything else in the game.
They bought themselves a little bit of time here, as Zapman will be able to clear out the jungle as well, and on right past the tier 1 where it used to stand in the dual lane, there is a bunch more minions coming down, and Zapman, he's got Deathbringer. He doesn't have Rage yet. He opted into the Deathbringer before because he could afford it, and why the hell not? So depending on what his gold is in hand, I mean, he's all by himself though in the mid lane. He's got to be careful here. He's going to get caught. Beads come out as well, forced to jump out. That's a little bit of a win here for the members of Eager, or for Denial, excuse me, as they got the beads down.
Oh yeah,
that's huge. And now Phoenixes are slowly coming up. They're about 75% on the far left and the far right, and Eager sitting back and saying, okay, well, that's a Magi's as well on Geb, so that's huge.
That will be a rather big play coming out from Team Eager right now. Denial very much on the offensive. Eager, they have a sliver of a Titan to defend. All Denial needs to do is find an entryway. They don't need to win this fight. They don't need to get a kill. They need to find a way in and then slap that Titan with a couple of basic attacks and maybe an ability. That's all they need.
Blink Cataclysm comes in. Zapman gets erased. And now it's all members of the Denial just piling in. The Kraken just off the mark. Aurora trying to just break everything up. Spirit Ball is going to hit. Basket comes in. He gets one. Now they're going to continue to push. Shing is going to be going. He's got the stun. He's got Lasses caught. Lasses is in trouble. And Denial is looking to end it. Ice shards will come down, but that is all she wrote, as that is going to be Denial. It got away from them in the middle, but that entire duration, it was so close. Eager was able to hold and just really just prevent Denial from ending this game, but at the end, Denial was able to close out. That is one of the best games I've ever casted.
That was just a lot of fun. There was a lot of back and forth, I love the thought or the idea of Team Eager saying, all right, look, we're clearly on the defensive. Let's just try and go for the win. It didn't line up for them. All the dominoes were in place. Yeah.
And I totally saw him back, and man, that's tough. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the first blood here, which is going to be Lasses on his Poseidon. He played fantastic throughout the entire of the game, but it just wasn't enough. And you see kind of the idea here, right? It's Divine Judgment right into the Kraken plus the Whirlpool. Every time, as we said, and it's really hard to have that synergy kind of go on towards the later stages of the game where it's like, okay, Nemesis, she's got the dash. She's going to be ahead, especially with the way he built. He's going to be ahead of the Poseidon. So you see the dash go through twice and then Divine Judgment comes down. So Lassus then has to try it in and come up to try to catch up, and he wasn't able to do it a couple times.
That was all Denial. As soon as that Divine Judgment, the sound and the visual cue came out, you saw a lot of separation, whether it was a Shing blink in and a stun or just tremors. A lot of that stuff was used in order to control the fights and control the jungles. Let's take a look at the jungle control map as we bring it up. And just as I expected, all kind of even.
What?
A little bit.
What do you mean kind of even? I'm looking at 14% on the mid Harpies here for Denial.
Yeah.
That's
17.
Oh, whatever. 17.
I'm just kidding.
4 out of 24. I mean, that is very shocking to see them be able to win this game. I mean, they have 2/3 of the Gold Furies.
It's the two Fire Giants. Like that's really what I was talking about. They dropped the ball in the mid Harpies, which is why Ymir was looking strong early and mid. And then late game, Denial goes ahead and picks up the Fire Giants. And with that Fire Giant, they're able to do so much late game and just incredible stuff. A lot of it had to do with the structures.
Yep. And just like that, Baskin Robbins will be your player of the game. And it's partly because of his split pushing. Yep. He was able to really keep the pressure on the entire time. And Anatoly, there was times where he was able to frost breath him out and try to find him. But really, at the end of the day, it was just, you can see what a Loki can bring. And the bigger story here for me is because of the Loki was able to get online, you see the Aegis come out for Zapman, which means he doesn't have Sprint 3.
Sure.
And Hunters with Sprint 3 gives them room to mess up. That's really it. You're allowed to miss auto attacks when you have Sprint 3 because you're not getting the movement debuff. You're just... You can't have that. He had to Aegis. That is a huge advantage for them.
I think one of the big points of this game, a lot of the times we see Smite games one off of, we're going to do a dance around the Fire Giant. Maybe it takes 20 minutes if you're in Europe. And then you go ahead and you get a win, right?
Yep.
And then with that, the team barrels down a lane. They take 2 towers, takes a Phoenix, and then wins, right? A lot of the win today came from the minions. We saw Anatoly in not a lot of the fights because he had to back and take it down. Denial only had to deal about 20% or less to the Titan itself. And that was all because of the Loki. I don't care about the fights. I don't care about any of that. It's because the right and left Phoenix were down. Yep. That's why Denial took the win.
Well, on the line here joining us is going to be none other than Bronx Bomber, who was able to battle out against the Zapman amazingly. Bronx, how are you, my friend?
Hi.
All right, Bronx. My first question for you here is you guys have been known to be this hyper aggro early team comp based team who always invades, but that second game you guys decided to not invade and you kind of strayed away from everything you're known for. Are you guys trying to adapt kind of more of a different meta here, more of a standard meta, or were you just not feeling it in that game too?
Well, after the disaster of an invade from the first game, that did not go well. We just decided to not do it and hope we won traditionally.
Okay, nice. So looking at it though, do you guys think you're gonna kind of favor more the early games still, or do you guys think you're gonna try to start drafting more Guardians?
I think we're still gonna stay with the early games, most likely.
Yeah, it just sort of fits your sort of identity now. One of the questions that I wanted to ask you, and I've wanted to ask you for a while, we don't really talk too much, is, you have been the rookie, and now there's newer people in the SPL. What's it like not only sort of making a name for yourself, and frankly, what's it like soloing Zapman?
Well, I mean, the soloing Zapman was just Zapman being Zapman. He was always fighting them, even though I had a massive health advantage on him, and he still fought me.
Yeah.
But
That's him. That is Mr. Steve.
Yeah, so yeah. I mean, has that been like one of your marks? Like, yes, I'm now more of an SPL player. Do you think about these things, or you just kind of play your game?
I just kind of play. I mean, yeah.
Cool.
He's definitely a very good ADC, and I'm very happy that the second game went the way it did.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Bronx. Before we let you go, do you have any shout outs?
Shout outs to my team. Obviously, they're awesome. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Bronx. Keep destroying in the solo lane. That's going to do it for us here in game number 2. Coming up in 5 minutes, we will have set number 3. Stay tuned.